Hello friends, kindly hold on. We will start the session in another few minutes, in another 2 minutes to be precise.
Sure.
Hello friends, welcome to the demo on generative AI. Thank you very much for joining. So today we'll do a practical demo on generative AI, specifically using a local model called as Olama. So we'll spend around an hour or so, but within that hour, I'll promise that we'll learn a lot of things uh, within that 1 hour time. So I just request you guys to be a little attentive so that we understand how to do generative AI and do simple applications using generative AI. All right. So that's the topic for today. If you have any questions, please use the chat window, put them in the chat window, and then probably at some equal intervals, I'll open up for any questions. If you have any questions, you can ask at that time. You should be able to see my screen where I have opened a website called as olama.com. So Olama is a website which basically helps us to run local generative AI applications. Now, those generative AI applications, we generally call them as LLMs or large language models. These large language models are already pre-trained models which are capable of doing great things. If we are using ChatGPT, the model behind the ChatGPT is the GPT-4, GPT-4o, 4.1, GPT-5. These are the models which are behind the ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is like an interface where you can chat with it, but underlying it will be calling these LLM models. So like ChatGPT, there are many other applications. We have Anthropic, we have models from Google. Uh, if you are familiar, Google has released the latest Google Nano Banana model, which is the latest and greatest model for doing image generation. It can create hyper realistic images. The model name is called as Gemini 2.5 Flash. That's the model name, and you could use that model for doing a lot of great stuff. So those are something what we call as the paid models or the frontier models. But not everything is paid. There are some free models also. There are some open source models. Now, Olama, what it will provide is it will help us to connect to these open source models, do some of our operations using open source models. All right. So, so let me start. I'll quickly talk about what is Olama, how do you use Olama, how do you download it and run it on your local machine, and then use it for doing your generative AI coding. So first things first, this you have to go to this website called as olama.com, and once you go, you will see this cute little Olama llama image, and then you will also get an option to download. Depending upon your operating system, whether it is Mac OS or Windows or Linux, you'll be downloading an appropriate downloadable version, and that will download in your downloads folder. And once you execute it, imagine you're downloading from a Windows machine. Currently, my machine is a Windows machine. If I download from a Windows machine, I will get a Olama executable. And then once I run the Olama executable, that will install on my machine. Of course, there's a very simple process. You just have to accept, and then go and install that executable on your machine, right? So the first step is clear. I've already downloaded and installed. If you see, the download would take around a few minutes, so I don't want to waste that time. I already downloaded the Olama and also installed on my machine. All right. The first step you need to do is this one. You don't have to follow it right now. You just follow my instructions. Probably you could do it at a later point. So once I download it, I want to test whether it is working fine on my machine or not. For that, you can go to a command line prompt. You can open up a command line prompt on your machine, and you can just say, "Oh Llama." Once you say "Oh Llama," you should see something like this, where it basically provides some available commands, serve, create, show, run, and so on. So when you're seeing this kind of a message, that means that your Olama is installed on your machine. If you do not see this, then there is some problem. Your installation did not go through well. So you just have to again follow up the same process. So just enter Olama on your machine, and that basically runs it. Basically, during the installation, what it will also do is it will set the path. If you are in a Windows, it has to set the path to the executable. So that setting is done. So once that setting is done, from wherever, in whichever terminal you open, you could execute the Olama as a command. Or else it will say that I did not find Olama and I'm not able to understand what this model is. So this shows that I am executing, I have installed Olama successfully, and I'm able to ready to do the commands. So I cleared my screen. Once I install the Olama, you just need to understand that what all things are available in Olama. So if I go to this website, there is something called as models, olama.com, and I click on this models tab. It will show me all the models available in Olama. As I said, Olama is a free source where you could connect to some of their free open source models. If you heard about some of the open source models, the Gemma model, this is the model from Google. Uh, the Google has a paid models like Gemini models, Gemini 2.5, latest models are Gemini 2.5 Pro and 2.5 Flash. These are the models, but it is also releasing their open source models. The series is called as Gemma models. Gemma 3 is their latest open source model, and it is capable of doing a lot of great things. Similarly, you might have also heard about DeepSeek, the Chinese model DeepSeek, and when it was released, it took the NVIDIA by a storm, because NVIDIA as a company, they were proudly boasting that they are the company which are developing GPUs, and GPUs are very essential for this latest AI, Gen AI, and other then other things. So what they boasted is they boasted that they are very essential, and that's the reason their stock price skyrocketed. But what happened when DeepSeek was released? DeepSeek said that they didn't use GPUs, but they used commodity CPU machines for training the models. That brought the NVIDIA stock down, right? Pretty drastically. And that is this DeepSeek model, the DeepSeek R1 model, which is the model which is used for doing a lot of reasoning and other things. So I will explain a lot of details about the models and types and categories as and when we go, but this is the first session. So just understand that there are some models where I can invoke them, do some operations with that. So we will test one or two models just to keep it light. Okay, as we go deeper, we will understand more things and so on. So for now, I'm just looking at this name, DeepSeek. This is a Chinese model, and if you see. Uh, there are a lot of models available here. So when it says a DeepSeek R1 latest, this is the model which is a default model, which is an 8B. 8B means 8 billion parameter model. Now, what does it mean by 8B? 8 billion parameter means when to train this model, they used 8 billion input data points for training this model. And the size of this 8B model is around 5.2 GB. So depending upon our machine size, if your machine is like a 4 gigs machine, like older machine, normal laptop, which is having a 4 gig RAM, then it will not work. This model will not work on that machine. A decent configuration which is required for doing comfortably for this kind of models is if you have an 8 gig machine, you'll be able to comfortably do up till this model, right? So you could take a 7 billion parameter, which is around 4.7 GB. You could take a 1.5 billion parameter model, which is smaller. In fact, I have taken this one because I have downloaded a lot of models. So I have a Gemma model, I have the Llama model, I have the DeepSeek model. So this one it's a 1.1 GB model. So if I have a comfortable 16 gigs RAM, while my machine is having a 16 gigs RAM, so I'll be able to comfortably run these models without any problem. Now, what do I mean by running the models? I will load these models on my local machine. I will use my local machine's RAM and then host the models locally and run it from my local machine. That is what I mean to say, running the models. So if I take a 1.1 GB model, it should run comfortably. It should not have any problems. Let me show you another example. If I go back to the models, I'll show you the Gemma example. Gemma is a Gemini, the Google-based model, Google open source model. And if you see, it is updated 4 weeks back. It's a very, very latest things we are talking. Okay, it's not like old Ashoka built trees and so on. So that's not what we are doing. We're just talking the latest and the greatest things. So Gamma model is basically, if you see, the latest is around 4 billion parameters. If you install the latest model, that means that the default model will be a 4 billion parameter. But if you want to go lower, then you also have a 1 billion parameter model, which costs us around 815 megabytes. And there is even smaller model, 270 million parameter model, and that will be a 292 megabytes. Okay, so this is a very, very affordable models, very small models, sleek models, and they also perform well. So we will be seeing the Gamma model as our example and then use it for some of our purpose. All right, so we spend around 10 minutes at my clock, and we are able to understand that, okay, there is something called as Olama. There are bunch of models which are available there. I can use one of the model and run it on my local. I have to download the Olama and then I have to run some command. So the command is this one. So Olama run Gemma 3. So when I do the Olama run the model name. So when I say Gemma 3, it will run the 4 billion parameter model. But if I want to run the 1 billion parameter model, I just need to say Olama run this name. So I just copy this one. I go to command line and say Olama run. And the name is Gamma 3 1 billion parameter, 1B. When I hit an enter, it basically takes a minute for loading the model on the memory. And then once it is ready, it will just show ready to accept kind of a information. It's almost ready and it is now saying send a message. Okay, I'll make it bigger so that you see it. So here it is asking for information. So I can ask it any question. So this is my local ChatGPT on my command line. So we spend around 10 minutes and we are able to launch a local ChatGPT on my command line and I can ask any question. So I can say, I'll say, who are you? Who are you? And it quickly responds saying that I am Gamma, a large language model created by the Gamma team at Google DeepMind, and I can do a lot of things. I can say, what can you do? And then that's a great question. So it is telling that all the details it can do. It can do text generation, information and knowledge extraction, conversational tasks, and other things. It can do translation. And as you see, the response is also not very, very late. It is quickly giving me the responses, and I can do a lot of other things. So let me go one step further. I can say like, what do you know about LLMs? So I have a question like, what do you know about LLMs? Then it is now giving me information about what are LLMs, how they work, and the capabilities and all that stuff. Right? So it is giving me all the information. So my knowledge cutoff. So this is important as of September 2021, that's the knowledge cutoff. And so this is trained till that time. That means that it will not be able to give me latest answers. So I will say, what do you know about the latest Google Nano Banana? So I am asking the Google Nano Banana and what is Nano Banana? So it is giving something else. Now, wow, wow. So it is able to get the information. So even at 2021, it got some information about the model and the training and so on. So they have some information about Google AI Nano. So there is something like this. Probably at that time, they still were building some output. So it was able to give. It is called as Nano Banana is a local LLM inference engine run for edge devices. But this is not the answer, right? So this is a hallucinated answer, correct? This is not what we want. Then Google Nano Banana is a different one. So it is not the correct answer, but at least it is giving me some context, something it is able to give. So let me go, maybe can I go to something else, maybe ask something. If you have any questions, you want to ask this LLM, you can put in the chat window. Probably I'll ask the same questions, but let me think, like I want to go a little off track. Probably I'll say like, can you all this is okay, but can you tell me a joke? So I'm asking you to tell a joke. So here is what it is telling. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything, right? So it's giving a joke here. Seems to be a good one. I can also write, can you write a poem? And here it goes, and it is writing a nice poem. The rain falls soft as silver hue, kissing the rooftops fresh and new. Likewise, it's a rhyming poem and it is nicely written a poem. It can also do a translation. How do I say, how are you in Hindi? So I want to say, how do I say, how are you in Hindi? When I say that, how are you in Hindi, it's basically giving me a couple of options. Of course, it is also giving me the Hindi text, but it might my command line is not able to display that. But it is saying "Aap kaise ho?" That is what here this section was telling. "Tum kaise ho?" is an informal, very casual "kaise ho?" Right? So if you know Hindi, this is correct. "Aap kaise ho?" is a very formal way of asking the model to do a couple of things. All right, so we are able to understand that I can do lot many things with this model. Now, this LLM is trained on a lot of data. When we talk about Perplexity and other kind of models, behind Perplexity, we have these models. So Perplexity uses a lot of closed source models. For example, it interact with Gemini, it interact with Anthropic Claude models, it interact with uh, OpenAI GPT models. So individually, it will interact with those models. And Perplexity is also having a lot of individual tools which it can do queries, it can do research and do all that stuff. So that's what the Perplexity is capable of doing. But Perplexity is like a search kind of an engine. But if I want to use these models for my purpose, I want the models to read my local uh, database. I want to read the models, the PDF policy documents, and then I want to answer those questions. Perplexity will not be able to do it, or Google will not be able to do it. What we are learning here is to understand the models at the first place, and then I see like how do I create applications for my own companies, right? So for doing that, we need to understand first what the models are, what they're capable of doing, and then getting into the application building. All right, so this one is giving me a little understanding. So we spend around what, um, 20 minutes, and I hope you got a decent understanding of what these are capable of doing. But now let us switch gears. We will switch gears and create an application using this model, and we will be creating an application in first hand. So this will be a practical course, guys. So I'll be doing everything is practical. This is not like I'll not be having 99%, there will not be any presentation. We will be just doing practical hands-on. And if there is some kind of difficulty in understanding things and so on, I would request you guys to let me know so that I will change the pace accordingly. Today is the first session, so please bear with me. We will be doing this uh, in a very uh, in a very practical manner so that you can get a good understanding of it. So I've already launched my coding terminal. This is called as a Visual Studio Code. If you are familiar with coding and if you do coding, then you will be at home. You will understand that this is a coding terminal. But if you do not code, or if you have done coding way back in ages, just bear with me that this is a coding environment where you will be able to connect with these models and do your queries. All right. So I'm trying to create an application. So we will spend another half an hour, and within the half an hour, you will learn, not earn, you'll learn a lot of insights. So first things first, this is my simple program, which basically is connecting to Olama and launching my models. So there are a few imports we have to do in this coding language. This is in Python, written in Python. And I will just import this language for some libraries. So this first line is talking about if I have to display some information, what should I display? How do I display? So we will display in something called as a markdown script, which will give me that the highlighted bullet points, side headings, and all that kind of a nice format. That is called as a markdown format. And this library is helping for displaying that content. Second library is the Olama library, which we just saw. The library will help me to connect to any of the LLM models. I do have the Gemma models, I do have the DeepSeek models, Llama models available. So I can use one of these models for doing some queries. The third one is the quick UI library. It will help me to create a nice little UI without any pain. So these are the three libraries I'll be using. And then I'm already connected to my Python environment. So I'm connected to a Python 3.13 environment, which is already loaded with these libraries. So I run this. Basically, it will take a second for loading all the libraries. Not 1 second, couple of seconds. So it took 7 seconds and loaded all the libraries, and it is ready to go. Then I would load the model. So I have a couple of models which are available. I can flip them. The one which I would like to use is the Gamma model, Gamma 3 1 billion parameter. The same one which I used for the command line prompt, I'll use the same one. Now, when you're talking with the LLM, when you're talking with the actual LLM in the model, you have to talk in two languages. The languages, in sense, you need to pass two informations. First one is the system instructions, which says that what the LLM should do, what are the rules of the LLMs, things to do for the LLMs. So all that information you need to pass, the instructions have to be passed in something called as system prompt. And the second one is the user prompt, which is our query, what we want the LLM to do. And generally, when we interact with ChatGPT, Perplexity, or anything, what we are ideally doing is we are just passing the user prompt. These models are already optimized in such a way that they can, depending upon the user prompt, they will construct a very nice system prompt for themselves and do a query to the underlying LLM. But when we are talking in a raw fashion to the LLM, you need to pass these two information. First one is system prompt, which will tell that what the LLM has to do. Here you are saying that, boss, you are a helpful AI assistant. That's it. A very simple system prompt. And the second one, you are saying user prompt, I have some queries. So I want to, so today is Saturday in India. And I want to cook biryani in the afternoon. So I want to say like, show me the recipe for biryani. And then it will give me a recipe for biryani and I can cook that. So this is the two prompts. And once I do that, then I can call my Olama in this fashion. So this is a one single function. It is called as olama.chat, the chat function. Chat function requires a couple of information. It needs what model you're calling. The model we are calling is the the Gamma model, Gamma 3 1 billion parameter model. And what are the messages you are passing? So messages will have a standard format. This format is called as a OpenAI standard format. The OpenAI models expect that, boss, pass all the messages. Everybody who is calling LLMs, all of us should follow some standards so that, anybody doing multi LLM calling, they will be having the same standard followed across all the applications. So this is called as an open AI standard for calling LLMs. So it would expect messages, and within the messages, it will say what is the role. Role is system. That means that you are passing a system prompt. Right? The first one is passing the system prompt, and this is like a neat little descriptor JSON format. And the second one, you're saying if the role is user, then you're passing the user prompt. What we need for the Olama chat function requires a model and the messages. Once you pass this information, it will call the Olama using the chat function, and the model which will be called is the Llama 3 model, and it will get the response. So the response will have certain format. Response will have the message, and within that you will have a content that you could display in the markdown format. Okay, so the display markdown is the format in which you can display the output in the markdown format. So without any further ado, let me click play. Now this is running. It will take around 20 seconds, 30 seconds, because cooking biryani is not a simple thing. It needs to create a lot of information. So uh, it will do all the search and it will come back in another 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe. So we're already there at 24 seconds. So it took 24 seconds for giving me a nice recipe. Now you see this subheadings, these bold things, and you have seen the bullets. All this thing is a markdown script. Now it is creating a very nice chicken biryani. Of course, when I said biryani, then it took chicken as a default somehow. And then it is now giving me nice instructions of what to do. So how to create gravy, how to create the biryani and the tempering and the instructions, nice instructions, and then some tips so that I can impress people. So you use basmati rice, don't cook it with Kerala rice, right? So that those instructions it is giving, and it is giving me a nice details. So I can change my query. Maybe I wish to travel to US and I want to create a nice travel plan. So I can change the query and it will give me answer. All right. So we spend around 30 minutes, and I hope you are understanding how I can do a quick application with a programmatic application by calling this LLM. Now let us switch gears, one more gear. I want to create a UI for doing all these things. So let me create a small function. So this is a small function called as shout. A small Python function. What this function will do is if you give any text as an input, it will convert the text into upper character and return that text. That is this small function. And if you see, I can run this function. And if I say hello in the small characters, it will convert into capital characters. We can run this file as a one single file, but just to show you like what are the individual steps, I'm running it one by one so that people can grasp and understand. You can run all of them. I can go and run all of them at once. So this small function, what I did is, this is a shout function. If you pass any text, it will convert into a capital letters. That's what it is doing. This is a test function. The reason I gave this function is I want to test the interface. I want to create a small UI where I'll be able to create I call this function. So this is the UI code, one single line of code. What is it doing is it is saying gr, which is the Gradio, shortcut of Gradio. If I go up, I have imported the Gradio as gr. So I'm saying gr.interface. If I come down, so when I say gr.interface, I will say what is the function name. The function is shout, and it will have an input text box. It will have an output text box. Whatever we give in the input text box will be fed to the shout function. The output of the shout function will be fed in the outputs. This is what this single line will do. And when I say launch, it will launch a simple website. As you see here, you can see that there is a simple website which is launched. I can also click on this website and then it will launch on my on the UI. As you see, we spent around 30 minutes and I'm able to see a simple website created where I can invoke my chat functions. I say this is wonderful. Wonderful. And this characters will be converted into capital letters. So what this is doing is this input where whatever I give, it calls the shout function. A shout will basically make it into capital letters. And this is now in the capital letters. So this is wonderful. So let us go forward. I'm not really interested in the shout function, right? So I wanted to build something uh, meaningful. So instead of shout function, I can go and run this with more lines of code. So I'll skip this part also. And instead of shout function, I want to create some meaningful function where I can call my LLM. So for that, I will create the message GPT. All right. So instead of the shout function, what we are creating a function called as message GPT, which can take my input and it will call the same Olama chat function, right? Similar chat function, but now it is embedded in a message GPT function. Understood? So now when I run this, basically I can run a much better uh, Gradio interface. Now it will call the message GPT. Whatever comes in the text box, right? Whatever input will be coming in the text box. Now we have updated the input to have more lines. So you'll have 6 lines as an input. And whatever output is provided, that will come in the output text box. And I can basically launch this. So once I click launch, it is basically launching the model. And if I click on this, it will take a second for launching. And here you see you have a very nice UI. Now I can ask questions like, what do you know about LLM? And I submit. It will take some time. This is the first time it is invoking the backend LLM, the Llama model, Gemma model. So it will take some time and then it will respond. Let me sip some water while it is responding. So I think it took 15 seconds or 17 seconds, and then it responded with this output. So what are LLMs? At the core, LLMs are this one. It can do these things and all that stuff. So it has created a nice website for me. Now, one thing which I know that you didn't like is that it is taking a lot of time. I want some instantaneous answer, right? Maybe for that, let me do something. So for that, we will add one simple line. We'll add one single line saying that stream is equals to true. I'm saying the system prompt, you're a helpful AI assistant which responds in Markdown. So output response. Here we have seen two things, right? The response is in Markdown, and you see this star star key types. Basically, this will make this output in a bolded format. While it is responding in Markdown, this particular output is not capable of displaying a Markdown. That's the reason it is showing this star star and these bullets and all that stuff. So if you want to show it in a markdown, so I will say that explicitly that the output would be responded in the markdown script, and I would like to uh, invoke in a real-time fashion. So for my Olama chat function, we will add one single line. The single line says that stream is equals to true. What does this mean? That whatever output the model is giving, instead of waiting for 17 seconds, whatever it gives, we give that in a streaming fashion, right? One after the other. We would like to give it in a streaming fashion. Now the stream will be there, and when the stream is coming, the stream output would not be in a one full chunk. It will come in smaller chunks, chunk by chunk. So we have to change the output rather than just saying display the response. We just have to say that whenever you get a chunk in a response, loop the chunk and yield the chunk. So this is a Pythonic way of doing things. Maybe you might not be understanding at this moment, but just understand that my response, if it is in a stream mode, it will come in piece by piece. So first piece, when it comes, I just want to display that piece. So that immediately after the first piece comes, then I iterate through it and then display that. When I say yield, it will push that output into my screen. That's what it is doing. And this is a stream GPT. Instead of message GPT, now I'm calling a stream GPT, which will stream my output in a real-time fashion. And now instead of text box, now I changed it to a markdown so that it can display. If you see, my output was in a markdown. This is like bold, but it is not displaying the bold. So that I wanted to show it in a nice bold format. All right. So now I click the interface, and this will create me another website. So this is a website which is now acting like a stream. So here I don't see anything. We are using the user prompt. User prompt is sent as the input. Whatever I am sending here in your message, that is the user prompt. All right. So user prompt is what? I want to travel to USA. It's a nice country. And for 2 weeks, please create a nice plan for me. Okay, so this is the user prompt, and I am sending that information now. Now, as you see on the right side, it is not waiting. It is quickly giving me an answer. It is asking me to go to New York City, then Chicago, then San Francisco, then, and if I can, possible extension, 3 more days. 2 weeks itself is tough. It is asking me to extend further, but that is great. So first it is starting the phase one is asking me to go to New York City. Then the phase two is asking me to go to Chicago, and the phase three to the west side of it, right? The Golden Gate and other ones. All right. Now, one small thing which I wanted to show you is if you go here, it also gives this one other link. I'll just put this link on your chat, and I want you guys to click on the link and then see if you guys are able to see that output. If you're able to see the website on your Google Chrome or whatever. If yes, you could just enter some query and then see if it is responding. You can enter any questions. Like you can say like, give me a poem, tell me a story, whatever. maybe it will take some time for responding because now it is traveling the continents and running on my local small machine desktop, which is a 16 gig RAM machine, right? So I just want to check if this is working. It works. So any interesting things you tried? And that's the same one which I have launched right now. So I can also open it. I want to check if it is working. It works. So a few people confirmed, I think it is working. But for others, if you have joined the party late, you might get a late response. Let me ask, I want to throw a party for launching my first LLM model. Please suggest options. Okay. So this is very extempore. Okay. I'm just asking, asking something and it should be working. It takes a little time. That is okay. Because I know that you guys are bombarding. There are 30 odd people in the call and I'm sure you guys are bombarding it and it would be working a little late, but I wanted to throw a party. While this is throwing a party, I want to just check. We spent around 40 minutes now. I want to check if you guys have any questions. So I've asked for a hard party, so it's waiting. Okay, got it. So I can throw
Uh,
up.
hello, hello,
Yeah,
sir. Sitaram, this is Satya Ramneni. I'm from Boston.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you explained very well, which is very good, and it gave me kind of some insight into that one. So in this one, it is mainly focused on Gen AI, right? So how much coding, Python or Java, needed for this, training the models or developing the models or algorithms or whatever, sir?
So there are multiple things. I will also teach you no code, low code LLMs and coding practices with that. But without code, we are limited with the facility provided by the tool. There are some tools
Okay.
like NA10 and Diffie. We will learn them in the course.
Okay.
But when it comes with pros and cons, right? So the cons is that pros are like definitely that you don't need to learn programming. You can just drag and drop and create these models,
Mm-hmm.
automations, and so on. But the cons is
Mm-hmm.
like they are limited with their capabilities. If I want to do something really product specific and something very customized, you would not be able to do it. For that, we need to know programming. And
Okay.
given the programming is also becoming minimal, the latest frameworks which are being used are abstracting a lot of things. So we don't have to learn a lot of
Mhm.
programming. As you see, today what we spend like 40 minutes now. And
Yes.
this code, is it really tough? Of course, there's some language code written Python and all, but
Mhm.
from a from a basic thing perspective, they are not very tough and they are easily understandable. Python is a very easy language to understand, and you should be able to grasp it as we go deeper in the course. Maybe first few
Okay.
weeks you might get a little uh, tough problem depending upon your understanding on language. Not any language, not only Python, any language. If you know, you you eventually you will understand it.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Let me tell you. So I was away from coding for last 20 years. I've been here in America 23 years, and I worked on data warehousing and then data analytics, cloud era, and Hadoop as well. So nowadays it is moving to the cloud, right? So I wanted to
Mm.
get into this new technology so that another 10 years I can survive. So
Mm.
that's why. But so far I worked as a Informatica admin and Cloudera admin, and then architect as well, sir. So I'm completely away from the coding, but I know the basics of Java and Python and all the stuff.
Then
So
I don't think.
advise me, please advise me,
Hmm.
where where should I fit into the AI arena?
You should attend my next class then. So there is one more class which I'm taking, which is on exactly on the same topic. So
Mm-hmm.
because this answer is not 1 minute answer, so it will take 1 hour for me, and I
Okay.
will be covering different views. So
Yeah.
so the session is called as Doors for Data Science, which will tell us like what are the different entry points for this AI.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm from a data warehousing background, what will be the entry point? If I'm from a program management, if I'm from a QA background, application
Mm-hmm.
development, DevOps background. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be taking that session. So I'd request to come to that session. It will be happening next session. It will be happening on my Tuesday, which would be US time Monday evening, 8:30 p.m. EST. That would be the time.
Monday means 2 days after, right, sir? Next coming
Yes,
Monday. Okay,
yes.
okay, okay. Please send me the link, sir. So I would like to
Yeah. What with
join that.
so there is our coordinators who have already put the message. You should
Mhm,
see.
mhm.
So there's a message is already there. You can check with them. So they will tell us the timings and all the details. This recording will also be shared with you guys. All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I will attend. I will definitely attend.
Okay.
Sitaram, just
Yeah.
in continuation to the same question,
Hmm.
like if we are from a completely different background of life sciences and of complete no prior coding experience,
Hmm.
so can I learn generative AI and AI, or do I need any prior coding knowledge? And if
The
yes,
coding knowledge, as I said, right? So to continuation to my previous answer, if we want to do more uh, specific specifics, right? So even if it is life sciences, right? So where there's a lot of life sciences related products are there. Maybe it is drug discovery or medicine related stuff or anything related stuff. There are products which are developing. So if you want to do more customized thing, then for that coding is required. But if you want to understand generative AI, LLMs, you want to do hands-on, we will teach you that it will teach you that the sessions where you don't require any coding. I'll teach you tools which does not require any coding.
okay,
But this space, as
yeah, I,
everybody who are
yeah,
from a non-tech background, right? Please understand that this space is moving at a very rapid pace. So people who want to come into this space need to have that ability to learn new things, adapt, and continue, right? So that is the space. Um, because newer technologies are coming, newer tools are being released, so it will force us to learn newer things. So just prepare our mind that I'm entering into the space. It would push me out of my comfort zone, but I would have to learn and then evolve. And
yeah. So, yeah,
that is there.
I'm ready to push on that pace, but I just wanted to check whether I should join any Python or the language course first, then start with this generative AI, or else whatever is needed for the current market situations and a minimalistic coding level that can be provided within the course itself or not.
Yes, the course would provide that. Course would provide Python related stuff, Python language related coding,
Hmm.
and it would be tuning according to the students. There's few people will be joining from this particular cohort. Whoever is listening to me right now, few people will
Yeah.
be joining us. So for them, depending upon their level, comfort, and other stuff, so we will be uh, pacing the course. And this is a practical course, guys. I'll not be telling anything like theory kind of a thing. This is a very practical course. I will try to talk in a practical sense from everybody's experience, like okay, somebody who is in a 20-year experience, how that person will perceive this course. So we'll be going in that kind of a mode rather than I have a strict format and I just follow that format. That's not how it would be.
Sure. Thank you.
So there are a couple of questions. What is the duration of the course? The course would be a minimum of 2 months. So give and take, we are in the middle of September, so it will take September, October, middle of November. We will be completing this course. So just every day we will spend 1 hour with 45 minutes of course content, and then I'll give like 10 to 15 minutes for questions. Uh, we will spend 1 hour every day, and that would be from Monday to Thursday, US time. I'm in India, I'm in Hyderabad. My timing will be Tuesday to Friday. So Monday to Thursday will be the US time. Uh, if I talk the EST time zone, it will be at 8:30 p.m. EST. So that will be the timing. You will spend like 4 hours every week. That means, and
IST time?
IST it would be 6 a.m. IST. 6 a.m. IST, Tuesday to Thursday. Sorry, Tuesday to Friday. So we'll give you all the details. So there's a question that whether we'll be using existing LLMs or creating new models. We won't be creating any new models in the course because we will be using something called as applied AI. Will be understanding what are the different LLMs existing and how to do uh, use the LLMs. But there is one small section where we talk about something called as fine tuning, where we will take the existing models and then fine tune them so that it can behave for our enterprise applications. So it will cater for our enterprise applications, so that we will learn in the course. Right?
Sir Sitaram, you said earlier in the demo the machine, in order to download some Gecko or Llama or something, it should be like 8 gig or 12 gig RAM needed. I have 8 gig laptop. Is it suffice,
Yeah.
sir? I mean, is it
Eight,
enough?
8 gig is decent enough. Yeah.
Okay, okay, good.
We just need to
And
ensure that whatever models we are using, so those models, or if you see that models, 8 gig Llama model can run this model, it can run this model, it can't run this. So when I
okay.
go for a 12 billion parameter, it will not be able to run. Right? It
Yeah,
will.
yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, sir. So when is the real classes going to begin, sir?
Next week from 16 September,
16 September, and then you said at least 2 months, right?
two
Mid
months.
of November or something like that.
Yes. Right.
Sir, I'm just curious. Uh, is there any fast track course, sir? Like 3 weeks or something like that you are offering?
Fast track, because this would require us to learn more detail, and
Mhm.
whatever I'm saying, this itself is a fast track, right? The 2 months whatever is there itself is a fast track, but the way I
Okay.
have designed the courses, the important ones, so it
Mhm.
talks about the length and breadth of the AI. So it talks about generative AI, agentic AI, then classical machine learning and all that stuff. So
Okay.
first 1 month, we will be talking about the latest things. For example,
Okay.
generative AI and agentic AI. So
Okay.
eventually you should get the most of the juice in the first 1 month, 1.5 month. The
Mm-hmm.
next months is where we will talk about productionization, like how do I do deployment of the models. I'll also teach about classical machine learning models, like that's
Yeah.
where we will developing models. Like if somebody asks, like, what is the model? So we'll not be developing LLM models, but we will be developing classical machine learning models, data science based models that
Okay.
we will cover in the course. So that will be
Okay.
the second half of the course, where I'll be
Okay.
talking about machine learning, supervised, unsupervised, and so on.
Okay, very good, sir. So, sir, one more question. I will hand up this one. But, um, I'm in East Coast, and then I have data warehouse and data, um, um, big data, Hadoop and Cloudera, all that stuff, right? So, worked as a manager, admin, and then an architect as well. So, you said no code or low code. right? So that is what I'm actually focusing on that, sir. Did you design anything for kind of a
Yes.
person like me?
Yes. We have,
Okay.
we will be talking about a tool called as NA10,
Mm-hmm.
which is a low code, no code agentic AI
Mm-hmm.
platform.
Okay.
And that does not require even single line of code.
No, no, no. I know basics, but not like deep coder. So,
Understood. So,
yeah, and how the going forward, how the future looks like for the opportunities in AI, like no code, low code, or this AI, sir. I'm in basically Eastern Boston, so how is going to be look like good opportunities are there, or of course we need to
yeah,
understand and work hard, and I know that, but how is the future looks like for like me?
yeah. So first thing first, we have to admit that the future is going to be AI driven. The reason
Okay.
is because every application, even if you say database is
Hmm.
also combined with no, the concept called as MCP, which is basically AI combined databases. So
Hmm.
other things are also changing. Every application, every platform, every workflow is changing now to embed
Okay.
AI in it. So I can
Hmm.
be like a data warehousing professional, but now AI is embedded into that kind of workflows. How do I
Okay.
optimize the data engineering pipelines? How do I change those things? So there is a view of that. Similarly, databases are changing. Similarly, applications are changing to
Hmm.
implement AI in it. So
Okay.
future is AI. AI will be there, but it is not like okay, whoever so it needs both both views. Somebody should have an understanding of the current business and also
Hmm.
need to understand how to adopt AI within that business line, within that framework, within that platform. So
Okay.
people who have that understanding will be able to uh, sustain for a longer duration. That is what.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what are the roles like, sir? Like AI data
That
engineer, or
yeah. So
AI admin,
there
or
are
AI architect, or what is it?
yeah. So, pardon me, those things we will definitely learn in our next few demos because
Hmm.
as I'm saying, we will please bear with me. This is the first session. So, uh,
No. That's fine. I mean, see, I'm just excited, and then I'm just curious to
uh,
know that. But
please
I know
wait for
it
1 week.
won't happen. Yeah, it won't happen in one session. No, but yeah,
Yes.
I will be attending your classes, and then getting your suggestions and advices as well. Thank you, Sitaram Garu.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mhm.
Hello, sir. I have
So,
one query.
yes.
So, I mean, I just want to understand after this course, I mean, the way you explained is nice. After this course, where I will stand actually? I mean,
You,
what I
depending
gain.
upon the experience, as I'm saying, I will generalize now, but as we go in the course, what we are going to do is we will take some assignments. For example, there will be an assignment where I want each and every one of us to analyze the current market.
Mhm.
Imagine, so other sir was saying that he's from Boston. Maybe people are from, say, like New Jersey, New York, or they are from Virginia, or from Jacksonville, or from Dallas. So I want each and every one of us to analyze the market, understand what type of job roles are there, depending upon the experience. So there are multiple assignments we'll be doing during the course. So depending upon my previous expertise, we will be kind of customizing our resume to how do we fit this technology and then pivot into newer roles. So there are a lot of roles which are coming up, like AI engineer, ML engineer, data scientist, junior data
Mhm.
scientist, senior data scientist, data architect. So and then head of data science. So this kind of roles are there. Depending upon the experience and so on, we need to see like where do we fit and what questions are being asked for those kind of roles. And then we will prepare our resumes. And if required, I'll also do one-on-one sessions with you guys.
That's
And this
great.
this will be at the end of the course, but those one-on-one sessions will be primarily catered to your experience, to your requirements and so on, and then together we can crack. Uh, the future, right? So whatever you wish to do, maybe some people who came from even the finance background and they were able to crack data science roles in big companies. So there are a lot of testimonies as and when we go, I can share them of what has happened.
So
So
when the course actually starts from Tuesday, so you will be explaining from the basic, like what is EA, what is data science, and
yes,
why you use. Okay, okay.
yes. So we
That's
will
great.
be going in basics. So I'll be
Yeah, yeah.
talking
Today
about
we directly jumped into practicals, no? So
yeah.
Uh,
So that's
Hi,
what.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sitaram. This is Satish. Have a quick question.
Hmm.
The program says generative AI and machine learning concepts, right?
Hmm.
Will this cover agentic AI as well?
Yes,
Now will it? Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's because my understanding of generative AI versus agentic AI is like the generative AI is mainly produce content based on input we provide,
Hmm.
whereas the agentic AI is more related to the programming work that we do generally, applications, replacing the microservice concept. So I'm more
Correct.
interested in those aspects. So,
Hmm.
but if you cover those, then good enough, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
So for that, so today, so there are multiple people who are joining. So pardon me, guys, if I have overwhelmed some people. Please bear with me because you have to get overwhelmed, and if you have to get overwhelmed, and you will get accustomed to that kind of learning. Okay, but that is necessary. But during the course, next week and the week after, we will be going a little slowly to just understand the basics first, and then step into the generative AI concepts, step into the agentic AI concepts, building applications. So that is how the flow would be. Uh, and please prepare yourself that you have to learn. Okay, this is one request which I would ask, because if I say that if I take one full class on just the Gemma model, right, I will talk the history of Gemma, what it has done, and all that stuff. I can take one full hour class on that, but that is not going to help me in any sense. So my only thought is that if I spend 1 hour, then I need to extract the maximum benefit from that 1 hour. Probably it can have a little tougher things, but that is my goal. Okay. So please
Yeah.
bear with me if you are overwhelmed with my first class that I am writing a lot of code and all that stuff. Please wait. We will learn all those things. We'll learn basics of AI, we'll learn basics of data science, but that will be in a fast-paced mode.
Okay. Sir, this is Satya again from Boston. I'm sorry. I mentioned you as a Sitaram because I am seeing that Sitaram screen. So I thought you were Sitaram. I just realized that you were Aravind, basically, right?
No, I am Sitaram only, not
Hmm.
Arvind.
Oh, Chetaram only, but somebody said like Aravind or something. Okay,
No.
if it is okay, that is fine. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
So I'll
This
wait for another 5-10 minutes.
Yes.
If you guys have any questions, please ask, and I'll be able.
Yeah,
Sir,
see,
one
this
query
is
I have.
Purna. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, Andy.
Yeah, sorry.
Apologies, one at a time.
Good,
Or
yeah,
else
go
put
ahead.
the question in the chat. I can pick them up and then answer.
See, Sitaram ji, in one of the demo I attended earlier, so
Hmm.
they asked me to do the practical service in Colab because our system configuration may not suit to run the EA or LLM. So is it fine to run on the local
Colab.
machine or Colab?
Yeah, Colab will be decent enough. We can also use Colab. We'll also be using Colab because it provides a nice configuration.
Okay.
For a system configuration, laptop configuration, if you have an 8 GB machine, you should be comfortably able to do this course. Anything lesser than that, we will need a bump up, but 8 GB configuration should be decent enough. And we can also use Colab. We'll be using Colab for our course. So you could use that for running our programs. So that does not require even 8 GB configuration.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks me like what should be the base configuration, I would recommend 8 GB machine.
Great. Thanks, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. In
I ha-
order to enroll into this course, like who should we contact? Who is the main coordinator?
You should see
Somebody
a
was.
message from Career IT online trainings. So those are the
Uh-huh.
organizers. They
Okay.
ask them and then they will be able to organize everything.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Hi, I have a question. So, do we get to, as part of our course, right? So, do we get to implement a case where, like, we build our own custom UI with our own logos and stuff and integrate with the models?
We will be able to build UI, but any customization, if it is more specific for your company and all, that's something you have to work on. But as I quickly showed today, right? So I
Mhm.
will talk about building UIs and I'll talk about creating applications. Maybe customizations have to be done by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like, more like some minor changes as to suit our needs, right? Like adding our logos, the basic
That
kind of stuff.
that should be doable. That should not be a problem. It should be doable.
Sure.
Sitaram Garu, Sitaramji, after this course, after 2 months of this course, then we need to prepare for a resume and then interview calls and how they're gonna ask and something like that. That assistance was also included, sir, as part of this course.
Yeah, depends. One-on-one assistance will be provided. It's like I will not be, I do not have time also, so I'll not be able to provide the job assistance. I want to be
Mhm.
very clear.
No, that's okay. Just
Yeah,
resume preparation and then interview
yes,
preparation.
that is
That's
included. That is included.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to know.
So somebody was asking my background, so I'll just talk about myself. My name is Sitaram, and I have close to 20 years of experience. I'm a hardcore technologist. I have done my MS MTech. I did my MTech in BITS Pilani in data
Okay,
analytics, and
great.
then
Mhm.
currently doing double doctorate, one from IIIT Hyderabad with specifications in AI ethics privacy. And then another from Rushford Business School, a doctorate in business management, specialization in, again, on the generative AI and agentic AI space for banking domain. As a part of work, I work full time. I work for a large banking organization and I lead a AI and ML group there. And from part of my passion, I do this training because I'm also doing my doctorate. It is like a what I mean to say, it's a self-interest that I would like to keep myself updated with latest happenings. So I love teaching, then that's the reason I also do these courses.
Sir, you seems like multi-talented person, basically.
Yeah, even
Yeah. So
Where are
as
you
you get
from,
into
sir?
my course, you would
Where are you
know
from, sir? Hyderabad or Guntur, Vijayawada or Bangalore?
I'm from Hyderabad. I live in Hyderabad.
Okay, okay, that's good. So, how can you get into? I'm just curious. 1 minute
That
only.
would require a separate discussion. So
mm,
that's a
So,
yeah.
how can you manage all this stuff? You are into everywhere, basically.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's a different day's discussion. But if anybody have any questions regarding whatever
Yeah,
we discussed
Sitaram
now,
Garu,
yeah,
this is Purnanda from New Jersey.
yeah, please.
So basically, once we complete this course, do you advocate any certifications as well? Like, what are the available certifications and which would
Yeah.
have good weightage for us before we
So
actually
there
prepare?
are certifications. Cloud
Yeah.
provided certifications are there. There are no open generative AI certifications, but there are cloud provided certifications from Azure, AWS, and GCP.
Okay.
Where there will be 70% weightage on the concept, and then there will be a 30% on their specific tools. We will be learning cloud also, the applied cloud. When I say cloud, in sense like how do I use GCP for deploying generative AI applications? So we'll be learning that. So
Okay.
for that, I would recommend them at the end of the course. But if you personally ask me, I would more give weightage to the projects. So I want you guys to build projects so that it will add weightage to our resume. Certifications are okay. I will tell you like what certifications we can target. The
Okay.
fees for certifications completely different. That is you have to separately. It's a separate one. Okay.
Understood. Understood. And also, my next question is basically, since you said you're doing the PhD as well right now, you would
Yeah.
have the project experience, right? Live project experiences. So, how in the real world these, if we open LinkedIn, the lot of flood of messages coming on the agentic AI and generative AI and AI courses and all those stuff.
Hmm.
So it's really getting very overwhelmed to even understand the concepts. People, maybe I'm assuming people are just, forwarding and messages just like that when they see a new thing on the agentic AI or AI aspects.
Yeah.
So from that context, for us to kind of get, what do we call, uh, how do I put it? I mean, like, what is what? Like, instead
Yeah.
of, coding and all those stuff, but high level picture, can you give in the next session or
Yes, yes. So next
all the
session, that's
types
what I
and
was asking. I
calculations, all
was
those
just
stuff?
replying
Right.
to
Yeah.
somebody else's also answer that
Mm.
there are sequence of sessions which I'll do. First thing is to
Okay.
understand the big picture, then understand doors to data science, which gives us entry points of where what to learn, how to learn, and
Mhm.
then we will understand basics of AI, generative AI, agentic AI. So next week sessions are primarily geared towards that. Okay.
Okay. And
So
also, you'll be focusing on the GCP platform or on the Azure or on AWS, basically,
I
to educate us on
Hmm.
these generative AI concepts, basically,
Yeah.
or agentic AI concepts.
We'll be talking about two clouds, AWS and GCP.
Okay.
I have expert knowledge on those two clouds, so I'll talk on that. But
Okay.
it is similar to Azure. It is similar in Azure also. It's not like anything different. Most of these platforms are more or less same.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was very informative session today.
All right. Any other questions? I can spend 5 more minutes.
Yeah, like do we get to see like the sample projects that we are going to build as part of the course, like maybe some Git links or something like that?
Yeah, the projects are not on Git, but I can show you. Maybe in the next session, I'll be talking about what projects we'll be covering. There will be a
Sure.
curriculum walkthrough. I'll be showing like what all things we will be doing. Is
Yeah,
that okay?
sure. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
And this course is more practical, as I said, right? And as you see, new things are coming up. So few weeks back, Nano Banana was released. So I want to do project on that. So my intent is to give more practical things, not like library management project or some book management project. That is not my intent. I want to do more practical, and I generally seek inputs from my students. So this course is going to be a decent course. So I want to seek inputs from my students. So people are from different backgrounds and they have some different project requirements. So we'll take those project requirements and then we'll build a project on that, right? Imagine I want to, so in my, I take two batches. So 6 a.m. batch and 7 a.m. batch. 6 a.m. batch recently completed last week, yesterday only. And now there's a new batch starting. So for that batch, what we did is we did people from background of banking and project management. So they have come up with their own use cases. So this is what they want to do. They wanted to automate the entire testing process, like test automation, test creation, and things like that. So we took that as a project for them. So that is how I would like to do it. So what I encourage people is to uh, open your open your understanding of technology and then try to see like where in your company people are using these tools. Even if you don't know that, okay, how do I do that? But let us come up with that kind of recommendations, and then we will implement that in the project, in the course, so that I can have more hands-on, real-time hands-on experience. Right.
Sir, Setaramji, we have laptops, and then we can, apart from the theoretical learning, practical learning, we have laptops, 8 gig, whatever it. So Do you provide any labs or any infrastructure kind of access to your
We'll be using Colab. Yeah, I understood your question. We'll be using Colab for
mhm,
that, and
mhm.
everyone can practice on their personal laptops itself. Whatever I give, every day you'll have code. Every day you'll
Okay,
have code, and that code you
okay,
can practice on your personal machines. All right?
Yeah,
okay. But you don't give you are not going to give access to your
No lab.
machines, sir? Huh?
No lab.
No, no,
Yeah.
no lab. Okay, 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 okay. Understand. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
and one last question from my side. So this is Purna again.
Hmm.
What's the depth of the Python coding you will be teaching before we start actually on this agentic AI or the generative AI things? Because you showed pretty much more of a code-oriented application builds basically.
Yeah. So I'll not be teaching anything. I expect that a basic programming understanding is required.
Okay,
So that is a basic expectation I have. So I'll not be teaching Python per se, because then the course would be like 5 months and I'll never be able to complete this. It's not time worth for time and effort and all. So what I'll be teaching is applied Python. That means that, for example, today I did the course. So in that, what all things are required to build that application. So for that, we will be learning applied Python. I'll not be talking about how do you do OOPS programming in Python, how do you create functions, how do you create applications using Python. Those all things will not be learning. We will be doing something called as applied Python. Wherever it is required, those things will be added bit by bit basis.
So would you be sharing your notebooks?
Yes, all notebooks, all the video materials, everything will be shared. There will be a drive which will be created, and all the materials will be available for lifetime.
Cool, thanks.
Hi,
Fantastic.
sir. This is
Thank you, sir.
Nagmani Sumant from Atlanta.
Hmm.
Just want to check, is there any prerequisite materials that you'll be providing to learn Python
You
for
mean to say
the
basic Python, right?
correct? Yeah, just
Um,
to get started with the IML part.
for AI/ML, whatever is required, I'll be teaching. But if you
Okay,
say like I want to build application programming with Python, that is a different ball game. Understood, right? So I'll
got
not
it.
be teaching how do you write functions, what is OOPS programming language. So all those things I'll not be teaching. So anything required for AI/ML, we will be covering in the course.
Got it. And that will also cover the basics of whatever it is
Yes,
required.
yes,
Oh,
correct.
okay, awesome.
So it will
And
be, yeah.
yeah. And follow-up question, like so I'm basically the AWS and Google Cloud a developer. So is there any like cloud related use cases that you'll be picking for this uh,
Yes, yes.
training
So
session?
as I said, we will be covering two clouds. One is AWS and the other one is Google Cloud. So in the AWS, we will be covering something called as AWS Bedrock and AWS SageMaker, which will be more AI specific. So we'll be covering how to use them as a tools. So as an AWS developer, I'll not be talking how to launch EC2 instances, deploy applications on that. So that is not our uh, focus. Our focus is on the AI components of AWS.
Got it, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And how much the data part that you'll be covering? Like, for example, if there is any database integration for some AI use cases, will there be any database aspects also you'll be covering in this
Yeah,
course?
so integration we'll be covering, but again, as I said, if it is database, then I'll not be teaching like how to create databases, how to write SQL queries on that. So that is not something I'll be teaching. We'll be teaching the application part of it. Like I imagine there is already a database. Now, how do I read from it? And then how do I use it for building models and so on? So that
Perfect.
part we have already covered.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much.
Fine, sir. Fine. Thank you very much. 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 Thank you very much
first few days, right, guys? First few days, you might have to spend a little more time because there will be a lot of questions. People will have a lot of questions. I do still see that there are 24 people still listening. I hope they are getting value out of it. So whatever 1.5 hours we spent exactly 1 hour 20 minutes now. So I hope this 1 hour 20 minutes is adding some value. Whether you decide to join this course or not doesn't matter, but attend a few more sessions. Next week, I'll be talking about some of the important concepts of understanding this different landscape, how things are changing, so that we get some clarity about uh, what is myth and what is a hype and what is fuss. So we need to understand that kind of thing. So next week, I'll be talking on all those things. So please join that sessions.
That would be on the same timing, right?
It will be not this time. It would be 8:30 EST. If we are in the US time zones, it would be 8:30, 6 a.m. is the timing. So contact the coordinators. There is a message from Career IT online trainings. So where they have mentioned the timings of the course, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. IST, which would be 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. EST or EDT.
Yeah. Okay, sir. I mean, it's not up to you to schedule the meetings and then coordinating. But there will be other persons, right? So
Yes.
we'll be touch base with them, and then if they can, they already have our emails or some phone numbers, so they will be sending that one. So we'll coordinate with them, sir. It's not up to you.
Okay.
It's too burden for you to coordinate all this stuff.
I can't do it also. So
Yeah. I know. Good, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Almost 1.5 hour, and then giving overview of all this stuff. I am excited to join with your class and then take your suggestions and education, whatever it is. Thank you very much, sir.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We'll be
sir.
joining.
This was nice.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll
Thank
meet
you, sir.
next week. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Yataram garu.
Yeah. Thank you all.